What's going on, Steelers Nation? Welcome back to the channel where we dive deep into the hottest stories around our team and across the NFL. Today's video is absolutely packed with major developments and rumors that could have serious implications for the Steelers heading into the season. So if you're watching this right now, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and buckle up because we've got some serious ground to cover. We're starting with some breaking developments involving three massive NFL names: Jalen Ramsey, Amari Cooper, and Keenan Allen. All of them are suddenly swirling around in Steelers rumors or are in situations that could directly impact our roster. And then, oh man, the Browns have done it again. Another head-scratching move coming out of Cleveland that might just open the door for the Steelers to capitalize. Now let's kick it off with Jalen Ramsey. Yeah, you heard that right. Jalen Ramsey's name is back in trade rumors, and guess who's reportedly one of the teams monitoring the situation? You guessed it, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now look, Ramsey is not just some name being thrown around for clicks. He's a 6-time Pro Bowler, 3-time All-Pro, and even at 29, he's still considered one of the most physically gifted corners in the game. When healthy, he can lock down just about any wide receiver in the league, so you can imagine why Steelers fans are hyped about even the possibility of bringing him to Pittsburgh. But let's talk reality for a second. What's making this even remotely feasible? Well, the Miami Dolphins are in a tight cap situation, and there have been whispers that they might be looking to move some big contracts. Ramsey's deal is hefty, no doubt about it. But the post-June 1st designation gives teams a lot more flexibility in how that cap hit is handled. If the Dolphins are ready to eat some of the money or structure a creative deal, the Steelers could sneak in with a value trade offer. Of course, that doesn't mean it's a slam dunk. Omar Khan and Mike Tomlin have to weigh the value of bringing in a veteran like Ramsey versus continuing to develop the young guys like Joey Porter Jr., who flashed real promise last season. Porter showed that he can shadow WR1s, and with Cam Sutton potentially returning to form and Minkah Fitzpatrick roaming behind them, this secondary might already be solid enough to compete. So the question becomes, is Jalen Ramsey worth what it'll cost? There's also the matter of leadership. Ramsey is known to be fiery. That can be a good thing. Steelers fans love that swagger. But it can also clash in a locker room that's trying to rebuild a team-first culture. And don't forget the salary cap. Signing Ramsey would likely require some other financial gymnastics, like restructuring existing deals or parting ways with a veteran. So it's a risk versus reward situation. Personally, if the Dolphins are willing to deal at a reasonable price, maybe a mid-round pick plus some financial compromise, I say pull the trigger. Because let's face it, the AFC is loaded with elite quarterbacks. You want to beat guys like Mahomes, Burrow, Lamar? You need elite coverage. Now let's shift the conversation to another area of the field that's critical for the Steelers right now: wide receiver. George Pickens might be the future WR1 in Pittsburgh, but with Diontae Johnson out of the picture and not a ton of depth behind Pickens, the Steelers need help. And fast. And guess who could be available? Two names: Amari Cooper and Keenan Allen. Starting with Cooper. This guy has been one of the most reliable route runners in the NFL over the past decade. He's a 5-time 1,000-yard receiver and has a knack for getting open even against top-tier corners. Last year with the Browns, he still showed flashes despite inconsistent quarterback play. If Cleveland is moving in a different direction, and it's starting to look that way, he could hit the market. The Steelers need a veteran presence in that receiver room. Someone who's not just a big name but a guy who knows how to work with a young quarterback, move the chains on third down, and command respect in the film room. Now Keenan Allen is another intriguing option. Yes, he's a little older, 33 this season, but the guy is still producing. Smooth route running, dependable hands, and a real pro's mentality. If you watched him last season with the Bears, you saw that he can still beat man coverage and give you 8 to 10 solid targets a game. He might not break every play for 60 yards anymore, but he's a technician. The kind of guy you love to have on a team trying to stabilize its offense. But here's where it gets tricky. Both of these players come with a price tag. Cooper's contract isn't cheap, and Allen isn't going to come in on a minimum deal either. Plus, you've got to factor in age and durability. Keenan Allen, in particular, has had a long injury history. If you're going to invest in him, you'd better have a backup plan in place. Amari Cooper may be a safer bet, but he's likely going to attract multiple suitors. The Steelers need to make a decision quickly. Do you trust a young WR room to grow fast, or do you bring in a vet now to stabilize the offense? Let's not forget, we've got a new quarterback situation to consider. Whether it's Justin Fields, Russell Wilson, or someone else under center come week 1, they're going to need reliable targets. Pickens can't do it alone. Pat Freiermuth helps, sure, but adding a guy like Cooper or Allen gives the QB another security blanket. It could be the difference between a growing offense and one that flatlines by mid-season. And now, we get to the wild card of today's story. the Cleveland Browns. Yep, they've done it again. Another under-the-radar move that's raising eyebrows around the league. Over the past few years, the Browns have been unpredictable in the front office. Sometimes that works in their favor, other times, not so much. But this latest move is very interesting. Word around the league is that the Browns are quietly shopping or releasing veterans in anticipation of a big swing somewhere else. Maybe in the draft, maybe in another trade. That could mean a key wide receiver, defensive back, or even a running back is about to hit the market. Here's where it gets juicy. Depending on who they release or shop around, the Steelers could be in a position to benefit. We've seen this before. When the Browns moved on from players like Joe Schobert or John Johnson III, the Steelers swooped in with smart contracts and filled roster holes. It's not out of the question that the same thing happens again this offseason. It also speaks to a broader point. The Browns seem to be shifting gears, possibly in anticipation of Deshaun Watson's contract situation becoming even more restrictive. They need cap space, and when teams need cap space, they cut good players. The question is, will Omar Khan and Mike Tomlin be ready to pounce? They've been known to work quickly when opportunity knocks. I wouldn't be shocked at all to see a former Brown or two wearing black and gold by the time camp opens. So where does all this leave the Steelers? It paints a picture of a front office with decisions to make. Do you swing big for a star cornerback like Jalen Ramsey, or do you roll with your young defensive core? Do you pay top dollar for a veteran wideout, or do you try to develop someone like Calvin Austin III or a mid-round draft pick? Do you wait to see what the Browns do, or act first and force their hand? If you ask me, the Steelers are right on the cusp of being a true contender again. They've got the defense, they've got the coaching. What they need now is just a few more elite pieces. A shutdown corner, a dependable wide receiver, a quarterback who can protect the football and make the smart throws. We're not talking about a total rebuild here. We're talking about a few final pieces that can bring this team back to playoff success. And that's where you come in. I want to know what you think. Should the Steelers pursue Jalen Ramsey? Should they target Amari Cooper or Keenan Allen? Or pass entirely? And what do you make of the Browns' latest moves? Is there an opportunity for the Steelers to capitalize? Or is it just smoke and mirrors? Let me know in the comments. You guys always bring the best takes, and I love reading through them after each video. Don't forget to smash that like button if you enjoyed this breakdown and subscribe if you want more in-depth Steelers content coming your way every week. We've got OTAs coming up, training camp around the corner, and you can bet there's going to be plenty of drama before week 1 hits. So don't miss a thing. Thanks for watching, stay locked in, and as always, here we go Steelers!